Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Montel Jackson up against Rani Yahya this weekend. Rani is a formidable opponent, so much experience. Is this the toughest test in the UFC for you so far, do you think?
Yep. The the next fight's always the toughest.
You're an incredible wrestler, well-rounded. He's got fantastic grappling as well, jiu-jitsu. Are you intrigued to see how he matches up with you?
Yeah, of course. Like you said, yeah, Yaya's been around a long time. He's took on a lot of tough fights. So I guess this right here is my tough fight.
You're running a three-fight win streak. How pleased have you been with what you've been able to produce recently?
I've made my peace with it. Of course, everybody goes out there looking for finishes, but yeah, it happens. We got to get the W by any means. So can't really too much harp on it.
Do you feel that you've established yourself now in the UFC and proven yourself?
Well, no, it's always work to do. You know, just bit by bit. Just keep climbing the ladder.
How good are you? Do you think how big are your ambitions in this sport?
They're pretty big, man. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be doing something else.
Are you going after the belt?
Of course, man. That's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to be champion.
What was what I'd love to learn a bit more about you. You came into this sport first, it was wrestling for you then, and then you kind of transitioned to MMA. What was it like for you growing up? When did you start to establish an MMA dream?
Oh man, right after like wrestling got dropped from the Olympics. So I think right when I was right around 21 years old, it's like, oh man, let's try this MMA thing out and see how far I go. And here we are.
When did you start to realize that you're pretty good at this?
I think maybe I was like 4-0, 5-0 as an amateur, and it was like, oh man, Montel, you can do this, you can do that. Oh, you can make it. I'm like, all right. Then I started to believe. So I think at that point that was like real critical. Otherwise, it was just like I was just doing this as more of a hobby to like replace wrestling, but like still looking to do other things. But once I realized that, then I just went all in.
Who gave you the nickname Quick?
Man, the people in my neighborhood, man. I used to work at this convenience store. It was called Quick Pantry, and then always been fast my whole life, so Quick just fit in.
Was there anybody in this sport who you looked up to when you started to get into it, who you who kind of set the path?
Yeah, man, Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva was like, that was the goat for me. Always will be. That's the person who really like got me like pumped up to watch fights and got me really like oh man, that dude's amazing. Like that dude for me was like that dude brought like the true fan out of me. Anderson Silva. He was always entertaining.
Do you think you're in the most exciting division?
Yeah. It like you look at all the other divisions, like they don't got the volume of like contenders. Like you gotta look at it, like anybody in the top 10 right now could probably be champ. It's any given day. And this competitor after competitor once you get that belt.
Where do you see the weaknesses in Rani? Like, where do you think he's going to struggle to handle you?
I don't know, man. Everybody's different. Like they say styles make fights and everything, but like I won't know until I get in there and see what he's offering. Everything else is like projections, and most of the time they never are right.
He's got a two-fight win streak. Are you impressed with him in the last couple of fights? Have you been watching him closely?
No, not really, man. I leave that up to the coaches, man. I leave that up to the coaches because the the way he fought them or what he did against them, it may not work on me. And the things I did against probably like former opponents or whatever, it might not work on him. I got to get in there and I got to figure it out. It's a puzzle.
He believes that wrestling is going to be the key in this fight. That's probably fair. And he thinks he's going to get the stoppage and earn a fight with Cody Garbrandt. Is he making a mistake there? Do you think he might be looking past you?
All right, man. If he said it, he said it. That's what he believed, man. That's what he believed, man.
What about yourself? I mean, you could flip it on him. You could get the stoppage, and then you could be fighting Cody Garbrandt. Is that somebody who would appeal to you? He's a huge name, and that would take you to the next level, probably.
It don't matter, man. Whoever they put in front of me, man, that's what we gonna focus on. That's who we gonna be focused on. Looking past anybody, in my opinion, that's bad.
Is there anybody in this division that you absolutely feel that you want to fight one day just because of who they are?
No, they gotta have something to offer. Like, what am I gonna gain from it?
How do you balance out the motivation in this sport? Some people do it for the money, some people do it for the prestige, some people just love to fight. Kind of, what are your main motivational reasons? And does it matter on the opponent, or is there times when the opponent really gets you out of bed?
No, soon as they send that contract, as soon as they sign their name, that's why I'm getting out of bed. That's why I'm doing this.
How about somebody like Sean O'Malley? Does that appeal to you? A lot of people want to fight him just because it's going to be a big check.
That's them, and that's all speculation. Like, to each his own. Like if you believe that, like if you believe like that's your money fight, that's your money fight, man. Me, I fight whoever they put in front of me. Everything else is hypothetical, man. Like, you know how callouts work. You can call them out 100 times. Don't mean they gonna sign that contract. It's a waste of time. You gotta focus on the stuff that's in front of you, man. You gotta focus on the people that didn't sign the contract. Anything else is pointless, man. It's all hype, man. Like, I see people online arguing with guys all the time. They're gonna say everything but let's fight. So it's pointless, man. Don't waste your time.
Do you try and stay out of that?
Yeah, it's pointless. Like, what's the point? Like, your people know how this works. Like, you only thing you gotta do is tell your representative to call a matchmaker. And everything else will get sorted. You sit there arguing with somebody, it's pointless, man. Like, it's unnecessary.
So, number 8 ranked Pedro Munoz has said that it is basically no logic whatsoever for Henry Cejudo to come in and fight Aljo. Do you agree with that?
No, he was a former champ. Former champ. Why wouldn't he come back? If he believed that, he's as good as Aljo or he can be Aljo, why not come test it?
He's been out for a
What's
long time. Do you think he's still got it?
that we gonna see? But why not test it? Let's come and see. If he say he better than somebody, let's see. Let's stop all the talking and hypotheticals. Everybody know what we got to do. Sign on that dotted line to be ready to fight. That's it.
One of the most informed guys in the division is Merab, but he's not going to be fighting for the belt as long as Aljo has it. Do you sympathize with that? Do you respect that stance from him?
Hey, Merab's a good friend. But this business. This is business. So if that's the decision he want to make, if he content with that, let him be content with that. But at the end of the day, this business. Everybody know how this business works.
Is Merab a good friend of yours as well?
I don't know Merab. By him sacrificing not fighting his friend for the belt, that's been a good friend. Don't know him personally, but it takes some balls to do that. So it's a good friend in my book.
Have you given yourself a timeline to get into the top 15?
No, we just gonna keep going. We don't want to, like, you don't want to rush. You don't want to put no time frames and no limits on stuff because that's when people it never works out. Because what happens by the deadline and there is nothing or no one said yes or some crazy thing, like, you don't feel stupid. So you just gotta just take what's in front of you.
How do you feel about your losses? Do you move on, or do you think often things come back around in this sport? Ricky Simone, Brett Johns. Do you want to meet those guys again? Do you want to get that back?
Yeah, of course. Of course. If the opportunity came, yeah, hell yeah.
We're gonna wrap up with a little quick fire here, if that's okay with you, about other fighters in the UFC. So who's the hardest hitter pound for pound right now?
Pound for pound. Probably number one, probably John Jones. Number two, probably Izzy.
Best wrestler.
Three, best wrestler out there. Probably like as dominating. Probably Merab. Takedown machine.
Who's the funniest?
The funniest guy. Jamila Hill.
Yeah, man. And who's the most annoying?
Man, it's too many to name, but we got a lot of clowns.
Who's the best looking?
Pause.
Who would you most like to have dinner with?
Uh, I don't know. Like it like I don't know, man. Like people in front of the camera, people off the camera. I don't know, man. I haven't met somebody that's that cool who are like, oh, I want to hang out with that guy. Like I can't tell you.
Who's got the best fight IQ?
Mm, that's fight now or like that's stop fighting.
Fighting now. I mean, fighting in the UFC now.
Probably Izzy.
Who has the best hands?
Probably Max Holloway.
Who's got the coolest tattoos?
I can't tell you, man. I don't pay attention to tattoos.
Who's the best dressed?
Man, that's the artist. Like it's open, man. Like the concept of fashion and design is to each his own, man. I can't tell you.
Who would you most like by your side in a street fight?
Person or thing? You saying a person or a thing?
Oh, a person.
A person? Probably one of the Diaz brothers.
And who's the most interesting female fighter?
The most interesting female fighter. Valentina Shevchenko. That's probably the most interesting.
Who would make the best movie star in the UFC?
Best movie star in the UFC. Probably Kobe. Kobe Covington.
Who would be the most fun to get drunk with?
I wouldn't be able to tell you, man. I don't drink and I really don't like drunk people. They're annoying.
That's good, man. That's how you get to the top. And finally, who would be your dream fight, past or present, in any weight class?
Dream fight, past or present. My division or any division?
Any division.
Like if I was like they size, probably Anderson. I probably want to test myself against Anderson Silva.
Yeah, what a legend. Montel, thank you so much. Good luck. I appreciate it. Respect.
Thank you, man. Respect.